Good day, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Albino Rhino Beer Review. You have the Rhino. I am here with a beer from Stu of Mintys Beer Reviews. He sent this to me all the way from the UK. Mintys Beer Reviews, if you haven't checked it out, check it out. He does a lot of Scottish beers and UK. Well, you'd expect UK beers and Scottish beers because of where he's from. Well, Scotland being part of the United Kingdom. Anyway, this is from the Burnside Brewing the Burnside Brewery. This is the Wild Rhino. It is 4.5% alcohol by volume. It is a blonde beer. Blonde beers, just like blonde girls, not exactly what I've always loved. You know, a nice black-haired girl, a brunette, a redhead, so much better. Blue hair even, man. Blondes, they were just always boring. Blonde beers, blonde ales and blonde lagers I do find partially boring. I mean, they're not like Pilsners or Kolsch to me where I try not to drink them very often because they are just very boring. These are a style of beer I find refreshing, very nice every once in a while. It's just not a style of beer that I love. I love the tagline down here though. Ride the Wild Rhino. I love that tagline because I was a fairly crude young man. And I had said that to a few ladies in the past, want to ride the Rhino. Back when I was good looking. I've still said it a few times. I said it to my wife once and she laughed at me. Anyway, Burnside Brewery, Wild Rhino. Thank you, Stu. Remember, check out Mintys Beer Reviews. Let's see what this is like, shall we? Alrighty. Looks very nice. The bottle says straw, well, golden straw. I don't really see that as straw myself. Now I am blind, so but I don't really see much as straw myself. But yeah, to me that is more more like a golden amber than a golden straw. I'd imagine golden straw being more yellow, more pale, more Pilsner-esque. It looks the part though. It's like a strawberry blonde, and I liked strawberry blondes when I was younger. Anyway. Very delicate smell. There's a little bit of hops in there, some nice fruit scents, some citrus fruits. It smells something that smells a little bit like a pear. Tiny touch of peach scent, but a lot of delicate hops and a lot of delicate citrus fruits mixed with some peach and some apple. But those could just be esters coming off of the yeast used. Ingredients were malted barley, wheat, hops, and yeast. So let's try this. I filled this cup up quite a lot, so let's do this. It's almost like a bouquet of flowers in your mouth with some nice zesty hops. A little tiny bit of that peach fruit ester again. And a little bit of a citrus fruit. I'd say a tiny touch of grapefruit is what it's coming off as. Either grapefruit or like lemon zest. So zesty, sweet, floral, nice hops. It seems a little resinous, not anything overpowering. Just it just seems to coat your mouth and last. Very enjoyable beer though. It's a beer that isn't anything spectacular, but that's just because it's done properly. It's not. They didn't take a blonde ale and decide to blow it up into something amazing. They didn't take a blonde ale and decide to experiment something superbly strange. They just took a blonde ale, well, a blonde beer, and made a blonde beer. It is what it should be. It has a nice bitterness. It has a nice refreshing value. It has some nice sweetness to it. It has a little bit of fruitiness to it. It just is a very well-rounded beer. I can't find anything to complain about. It's 4.5% alcohol. It's super sessionable. This is a beer that's so subtle in the flavors that the average Bud Miller Coors drinker could drink it. Be a few steps up from what he's used to, but he could drink this without complaint. And the flavors are still there enough that the average to above average craft beer drinker could drink this without complaint as well, which makes this a great in the middle beer that makes it a great pub beer. I actually really am enjoying the Wild Rhino. Now, all that being said, still, excuse me, a boring beer when you put it against the other, 2,400 beers we've reviewed down here. For that reason, this will get a twofold mark again, like some beers. As a blonde, I would give this like an 8.5. This is one of the better blondes I've had, because it has everything it's supposed to have. Nothing overpowering, nothing underwhelming. It's all there. As a beer, excuse me, I'd put it at a 7. I mean, I would buy it again. I just wouldn't go out of my way looking for it, unless I was in the mood for a blonde, and then I'd go out of my way looking for it. If this was at a bar, I'd buy it. If this was at the beer store, I'd buy it. If this was at the LCBO, I'd buy it. But I would have to want something refreshing and sessionable. And when I bought it, I'd probably buy 6 to 12 of them and enjoy them for the night. See how they change as they heat up. Start them really cold. Drink it really cold and let it warm up and see what happens with it. But yeah, I'd ride the Wild Rhino all night. Who wants to ride the White Rhino all night? Okay, no, that was too far. Thank you guys. Have a good night.